Alright boys, welcome back to the Black Clover mobile video. Rhades so far right now is being one of my favorite characters to use right now in the meta, since he is able to provide a status ailment immunity to where they can never stun mana well and we just easily win games. So today we're going to go over how to build Rhades so you lot can have one of the best tanks and best supports right now in the PvP meta. If you're new, subscribe. Of course, we're doing Black Clover content every single day, but to jump into the gear, this is the gear set I have on him. A pretty standard one, but it makes sense. Attack, defense, and also speed set, all the advanced ones, and that is because, of course, for two main reasons. One, he's a tank, so he wants to have defense. The magic set, of course, even though he's not a DPS, his actual barrier that he does give towards his team is based off his own magic attack, very similar towards Noel. So we want to, of course, have the actual attack set onto him to get that 7% magic attack. And then the speed set is important for me a little bit, mainly because his speed himself, if you lot don't know, is 100, but he does get 7 based off the actual passive. So he has got 107, and my Noel, I believe right now, does have 106. So he's just got one more speed than Noel, and my Noel normally has the speed set on, and I typically want my Rhades to go in front of my Noel, so he's able to put the barrier on before, and also before other Noels. So yeah, this is the current set I do have on. Do let me know though, I feel like you could probably go towards max HP instead of the speed set. Haven't tested it out yet. I'll definitely farm it later on and see if it is going to work here. And then for accessories, I mean, these are not really any recommendations. It's kind of just go towards what's the best ones you have, essentially. I did get quite lucky and got a few UR and LR already in the game. However, this one you can see right now, it's got really bad substats where I could use this one and actually get more magic attack because the substats are actually better, but the LR does look nice. Honestly, this is a character I'm probably going to use for a long time, or for a while at least I plan to, so I probably will try and max out all 3 of them to get obviously the more defense here because you can be a tank, of course, and then probably get maybe more speed or maybe max HP, but what was by far a priority and what you should be doing straight away for him, of course, maxing out the red talents so you can get that more magic attack, so he does provide more from his actual barrier. But the talents that are actually activated, as you can see, of course, magic attack because he wants to have more, obviously, barrier, and then obviously you don't care about dealing more damage to bosses, so of course going to more crit rate generally is useless because he doesn't do a lot of damage, and I mean, if he crits, sure, he does more damage, right? First and foremost, he is obviously a tank, so of course, we're going to go towards defense, and also more defense, more crit resistance at the start of each wave, stacks up to 5 times. Moving on, we have obviously damage resistance. We will make sure that he can tank as much as possible. And then the next one that I normally go towards is going to be swiftness, and that is grants 1 SP buff upon having less than 2 SP at the start of turn. Basically, yeah, sure. I mean, he ults, and then boom, it can hopefully get his ultimate a bit faster. You don't really need the Mage's Blessing because his actual tier 2 is 2 turns and the buffs last 2 turns, so yeah, reducing this by 1 if you can generally doesn't do much. The damage it does isn't even that lot anyway, so you don't really care about recycling this skill. When this actual buff expires, you get the skill to use again anyway, so what's more important is just getting that barrier again, especially when you're doing your PvE farming. And yeah, that is my talents. Like I said, I would max out probably the max HP or speed next, but yeah, I am prioritizing other things right now, but what is by far a priority was just maxing out this red tree. Okay, for skill pages and also level ups. So the skill level ups, you don't need to do any, really, to be fair. It's definitely not the skill 1 because all it does is just to do a bit more damage and also makes the poison activate more. You don't really use Rhades for the poison. It generally doesn't matter. Skill 2, all it does is increase the damage. This skill does like 19k. It generally just doesn't do damage since Rhades is not a damage dealer. All you care about is applying the buffs, and he does that at level 1, so you don't need to level this up here. And then the actual ultimate, you could actually level up here. As you can see, the barrier can increase by basically 100%. It's actually a really good thing to level up here. But since I'm actually still using my actual Noel, who uses a shield right after my Rhades, I generally just don't need this right now. I probably will in the future, but for right now, there's more things to prioritize, like obviously Noel, like Julius, like other characters that I want to invest into. So I don't really need to, but this is one skill I would level up, but right now, definitely don't need to, especially because I can't afford it. Moving on to the skill page. Honestly, you need his skill page. His skill page, as you can see, if we unequip it, it's going to change his actual skill 1 to where all he does do is increase the defense by level 2. But if you do apply his own skill page, you are actually going to get the damage resistance level 5. 45% damage resistance. It is a big buff and one you actually want to put on. If you haven't done it this month and you plan to use RADES, then I would recommend actually just selling enough of the SR skill pages to actually buy your monthly selectable skill page for SSRs. And this is where I got my RADES skill page. I literally selected it from this one so I can actually get it. Really recommend doing that if you plan to use a guy in PvP. For the skill page effect, you're going to get barrier based off his max HP, which is, I mean, it's little. It adds towards his own barrier and also the wells, because I think barriers do stack in this game. They don't overlap. They literally stack each other. But yeah, that might be a reason why you might want to go towards max HP gear instead. Okay, so normally when it comes towards enhancements, I don't talk about it too much because normally it's RNG. However, since RADES is a starter SSR, if you max out the world reputation or even completed your mage's path, he is a character you can actually get duped out for free. And out of the characters here, you should only really be picking, I would say, William or also RADES, because those actually last a longer time and also their dupes actually matter. When you dupe them out, you're going to get more defense and more HP and also endurance. This does max out 4 dupes, so you can kind of stop there, I guess. And if you pull him, sure, that's great, because his actual awaken passive does, upon taking damage, there's a 50% chance to inflict a taunt onto the attacker. 2-star passive, which is what I have right now, it's 30% chance. It's still actually very, very good, by the way. The 50% chance is like just more insurance. To be fair, the only thing I care about is just getting more stats. But hey, if I'm going to go all the way, I might as well get the 5-star awaken as well. Very good passer, by the way. He is a tank first and foremost, so having a way to taunt the enemies is going to be very, very good. And if you don't know how taunts work in this game, if I taunt Noelle, she can't use her shield. If I taunt Mosa, she can't use her actual revive or even her ultimate or her actual tier 2 skill. Taunts are so good in this game, especially against buffers, and for some reason, a lot of the bots love attacking him. So yeah, this is a very, very good passive to use in PvP. And one that I'm actively working on getting into 5-star awakening. But currently right now we've done 2 because yeah, I'm still working on getting the world repetitions up. Okay, so when it comes towards PvP teams, what can you use? Honestly, the best partner so far is definitely Noelle. Mainly because what you're using RADES for is literally to get the status element immunity so they can't stun your team. And right now there's a lot of stun people with obviously Mars AoE. And more importantly, it's going to be Julius. Julius is always most of the time going to target Noelle because she is a red character, so making it so they can't stun Noelle and you can keep on countering is just the best thing RADES can do right now in the meta. So Noelle is going to be must. Also very, very good if you have Noelle at max dupes, because she does get the blessing of water based off max HP at the start of the turn, and if you're able to put a barrier before the people can attack with RADES, then it does actually keep her blessing of water until she can attack again. Of course, Julius is by far going to be the next best person to use. He's just the best character in the game right now to kill other Noelles and to reset stamina. Good damage as well. It's just Julius, you know how it works. But what I love doing as well is going to be putting in RADES. Since all 3 of these characters are magic buffers, having the tier 2 skill to constantly buff up either one of these characters is very, very good. His ultimate is going to increase mobility by 20%, so you can start first. Basically, your whole team starts first here, to where you can use your ultimate with RADES, get the status immunity to where he can't stun you Noelle, buff up with Noelle, probably killed the Noelle with obviously Julius as well, and basically just watch as that 5-star max dupe Julius is basically useless as they can't touch your Noelle, because the combined shield with obviously Noelle and also the RADES is just too much. They can't let you stop her. If you really want to be toxic and you don't want to be slown or be debuffed, because you still can debuff, you just can't stun Noelle, you can throw in Mars to literally make it so Noelle cannot be debuffed for 1 turn and also cannot be stunned for 2 turns. Definitely don't need Valtos. You could bring Finral instead, or if you want to, bring any other buffer just to make Noelle do a bit more damage and also make her shield a bit more tankier. Could bring Lotus, but with a lot of Mars in the meta right now, I wouldn't recommend it because you kind of use this for 1 turn. Charlotte's really good. Lower in defense, getting extra turns with the mark, really good too. Any of your favorite characters. For me personally, I love this team, and for defense as well, this is what I've got going on here. Ultimate, and then for Noelle, of course, we're going to have the shield on because that's the more important. So yeah, that is basically what I do for my RADES. Let me know how you guys are using RADES and what teams in particular. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be using Noelle, but if you've got any other combos and other little secret techniques that you use with him, then do let me know. Also, what gear do you use? I think by far for me, once again, the attack defense speed set is just my go-to, especially for him, just to get in front of Noelle. But yeah, I think HP might be the go-to next. I'll try it out later on. But boys, thank you for watching today's video, and yeah, peace.